What is up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz. Welcome to the after season, as I like to call it. Not the off season. There is no off season in Buckeye land. The after season. And soon, in a few weeks, it'll be preseason. So buckle up. Here we go. So with that pathetic excuse for a college football championship game with Georgia and TCU, let's look at next year's championship game. Let's look ahead to 1 year from now. All right, so here are the latest odds according to betonline.ag. These are the odds. I'm going to give you, I didn't count them, maybe 10. I'll give you the top 10. We're not, once it gets past like plus 2,800, they don't have a snowball's chance in hell. So anyway, 2023 college football season, the championship, the winner is the Georgia Bulldogs plus 300. So they just went 15-0 this year, but they have a new quarterback problem. Actually, the top three teams here all have a new quarterback problem. So we'll see how these things get hammered out. But obviously, with Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, they all have new starting quarterbacks, but they have a ton of returning offensive talent around them and defensive for that matter. So Georgia plus 300 to win the college football championship next year. Alabama plus 600 coming in second. They also have a new QB problem. Just went 11-2 this year. Buckeyes, same deal. But Ohio State is plus 800 to win the championship. I already locked that in for myself. Thank you very much. New QB, and also went 11-2 this past season. Now, this is where things get interesting, in my opinion. You might be expecting to see Michigan coming in here at the 4-hole. False. USC plus 1,200 coming in behind the Buckeyes. So you see how this breaks out, right? It's kind of close. Georgia's plus 300, Bama's plus 600, Ohio State plus 800. So not a lot of difference there between 1 and 3. But then 4 at USC is plus 1,200. They just went 11-3 this past year, but they do have Caleb Williams coming back. And you got that tampering son of a bitch, Lincoln Riley, fucking with everybody's rosters across the country. So, but look at that difference. Georgia plus 300, USC plus 1,200. And even the drop off from Ohio State at 3 at plus 800 to USC plus 1,200. A little bit of a bigger gap there. So we all know the top 3 in the country are pubic hairs away from each other. Then coming in at 5, this is where I was surprised. I thought Michigan would have been 4. They're 5 at plus 1,400. Just went 13-1, picked the wrong time to lose a game. LSU right there with Michigan at 5th with plus 1,400 as well. They just went 10-4. But both those teams have returning quarterbacks. You know, you got JJ with Michigan. LSU has Jaden Daniels. So interesting that USC kind of leapfrogged Michigan, and then LSU just kind of found themselves right there, handcuffed to Michigan. Now, Florida State coming in plus 1,800. They just went 10-3. I want to see how success treats them, how they can handle it, you know. Next, Clemson. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And are we sure that Cade Klubnik is a good starting quarterback? I'm not ready to say that. They just went 11-3 this past year. Like I said, they're plus 2,000. Penn State coming in next, plus 2,200. New QB with Drew Aller. They went 11-2 this past season. So they're loaded. They're another loaded team that they're bringing back on offense. Can they put it all together? Those odds are not great at plus 2,200. Notre Dame, the Irish, I thought they would have been a little bit higher with the new QB transfer that came in, but they did just go 9-4, so maybe they have more pieces missing than we're aware of. Their offense still is not dynamic in any sense of the word. So we'll see. Tennessee also plus 2,800. New quarterback coming in there too. They lose Hyatt and the receiver and their quarterback. They just went 11-2 this past year. Had a couple of big wins that they probably didn't expect, but plus 2,800 there. And tied with them, we have Texas at plus 2,800. They just went 8-5. I don't know. Was Quinn Ewers more banged up than they let on throughout the year? He got hurt week 1 against Bama, and maybe he was not 100% the rest of the season. I don't know. Probably should have sat him for a couple of weeks. I don't know. But anyways, I find those last 3 or 4, Penn State, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Texas, all very interesting to me. So, yeah, and with the new QBs coming in for a lot of these teams, about half of these teams actually have new quarterbacks coming in. So how do these teams handle that, and can everybody, the talent around them kind of lift up the quarterback? So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.